Hello friends and welcome back. It's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and today I'm presenting for the Funky Junkie Boutique, and I'm using watercolor pencils. So I'm going to show you a couple of different techniques using the watercolor pencils. In the final overview, I think I said crayons, but I did use pencils. So here I've got this portrait. So the first thing I started to do was to try to scribble the watercolor pencils on my craft mat and then pick it up and paint the images. But I decided that wasn't a deep enough color, so I went straight to pulling the pigment directly off the pencil and doing the watercoloring. So again, here I'm just gonna walk you through here as I am watercoloring this beautiful lady image. So we're going to switch and paint that flower, and again I had a much better success just pulling the paint directly off. Throw a little green in there, and then of course I had to give her green eyes. She kind of looked like an Irish lass to me, so I just thought that would just add a little more color and just just really highlight highlight her eyes. I love working with these pencils. They are so easy, and there's so many techniques that you can use. I'll show you coloring on a stamp directly before we finish this video. So again, this is the second video in a series of 3. So with the first one, I show you the accordion folio and kind of how I decorated the base for that. And for this one, I'm just showing some of the watercolor techniques with Tim's new pencils. I ended up taking Jen Shirkis's pencil class and learned quite a few techniques, which I thought was really fun. So again, next we're going to move on to my little group of girls. Actually, they're lady and girls, but anyway, this is one of the the paper dolls from Tim Holtz. I think I've had this one for a while. I tend to collect this stuff and then use it at a later date. So again, I'm just kind of watercoloring here, pulling out some blue for Mama's dress here. I love how the watercolor pencils color. You get the opportunity to get a good amount of color on these images. So again, and it's kind of surprising that they've got a coating on them, but the distress watercolor pencils work perfectly, and I think are actually easier to use than the distress crayons. So again, I'm just kind of coloring the different colors here. We'll move along here in a little bit to the next image that we're going to do. So again, these are all going in my folio book. So the third video is actually an overview of the entire finished folio. So we got to color their hair. Got to give them a little bit of color there. Too much fun. Too much fun. So do you have any paper dolls that you like to color and play with? So here's an orange tag that I did next, and this one's actually done by coloring the distress pencils onto the red rubber stamp. Again, I learned this in Jen Shirkis's class. So again, we're going to go ahead and you need to have it in some sort of a stamping platform, because in the end we're going to again color the flowers using different colors, and then we're going to go back and stamp on top of it using some sort of a darker ink that's going to bring the outlines in and really accentuate all of the parts on the flower. So again, it works really, really well. So again, I can't wait to try this technique with other of the red rubber stamps that I have. I just haven't had time. Been busy putting this video set together. It actually started out as a big, long video. I couldn't believe it. It took me about an hour and a half to film, and that was even stopping in between, and I ended up with this just huge video. And I just thought, all right, there's no way I can cut this thing down to a reasonable amount. And finally decided that, what my friends are more interested in is kind of the techniques that I used. So again, that's why I chose to divide it into 3. So as you can see, I spritzed it with water, and then I went ahead and stamped it. And so you can see here, it looks like a hot mess here, but it really isn't. Wait till you see what happens when you stamp over it. So I'm just gonna spray my stamp with water and just wipe it off. And again, I knew exactly where I had that tag placed, so I wasn't too worried about it. But again, if you're worried you'll mess it up and shift it, you could just leave it in the stamping platform. So again, once I get that vintage photo on there, it really accentuated it. So here's the next one that I did. This is a mom and a son, and this reminds me of a photo I have of my husband with his mom. So, think about using some of the packaging that comes from the Tim Holtz items. I mean, look at this. It's perfect. It's already kind of grunged up. It's a great color. So what I did was kind of cut it into a tag shape. And I always kind of cut one corner and then flip it over so that I know exactly how to get it even. So again, here's my start of my tag. And then I'm kind of digging through some of the fun stuff from the ephemera pack. So again, I've used a bunch of them. I've used, the quote chips. I've used paper dolls. I've used portraits, layer frame collage, backdrops volume 3, pocket cards, large palette ephemera. So again, I had a bunch of them on here that I just, again, some old, but mostly the new things. This is an older paper doll as well. So I thought she looked cute on that red striped. And so we're going to give the little boy a blue coat using prize ribbon. So again, I'm kind of pulling off the pencil directly. It's the only way to go, quite frankly. See how easily that pigment goes on there? Just very, very, very quick and very easy. So now I'm kind of turning attention to the mama. She's got a blue skirt, and then she's got a shirt that has some flowers on it or something. So I decided to add the blue spots on there. Cool. And then I went to speckled egg for her jacket and the little boy's cap. Just fun. I just really have fun coloring all these different tags and things. So we'll again finish up her speckled egg. I certainly hope that they decide to release some more of these pencils because they really are fun to work with. Very, very fun. Of course, I'm a full set syndrome type of girl, so of course I have all of the crayons. So we're gonna color the hair here a little bit, and then we're just about done. So I hope you'll give the pencils a try. They are not like other watercolor pencils that I've used. They seem to be really highly pigmented. So again, there I put the backdrop on there, and I'm just kind of gluing on just random ephemera. Some of it is from the new set, some of it is that I've had for a long time. Again, as I said, I'm a collector of all things Tim, so I just have too much fun down in my craft room. I'll throw a little glue on there to make sure we get the edges. So the next thing I'm going to do is run through the 4 tags that we have. And again, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Blogger. Would love to have you come and follow me. So there's the front of the folio again. Here's the inside. There's the orange tag. And that one.